Hello, everyone. Thank you once again for joining us on this channel, My Green Card Story. As you know, we interview people that we have worked with in the past um, concerning their EB2-NIW, and their petition has been approved. If you want to know more about us, check the description section of this video, or you can visit our website www.mygreencardstory.com. This episode is part two of the previous episode, and I'm going to continue talking to Dotun. And this episode will be focused on is adjustment of status. Mr. Dotun, thank you once again for joining us.
Absolutely, man.
So, in the previous episode, you told us about your I-140, the content of your petition cover letter, your supporting document, and how you got approved within 30 days. Okay,
Yeah.
so you were one of the lucky few that expressed the golden days of filing for EB2 NIW. Okay, so you said you got approved within 1 month, and your approval came by March 2023.
Yeah.
So were you able to adjust your status immediately? If no, when was your power date current? When were you able to turn in your adjustment of status documents?
Yeah. So I got the approval in like 30 days, like I said, right? And it took a while for the priority date to become current. I think it took maybe like 6 months or thereabout. Because actually, immediately I got that I-140 approved, I just relaxed. Honestly, I was because then I was on H-1B either ways.
Okay.
So I felt like, okay, if anything goes south, I still have the I-140 approval.
Mm.
But one thing I didn't know was there were like two dates that they were using to track. I don't remember that
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
there's always two dates:
yeah, so they will move.
initial filing and
Yes,
final
that's
determination.
initial filing and final. So in one of those months, right, they moved from maybe initial filing to final or whatever, and that was like February. But I was lost in time and I was just busy doing my work. So by the time I realized, I was like, okay, well maybe I can still file. So I filed and then they returned it,
Mm.
right? So I waited and I think priority dates became current in
So
maybe like
last year,
maybe like August.
2024.
No, 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 no. Was it? Yeah, August 2024, thereabout, yeah. August 2024, something like that.
Mm.
But also I remember that adjustment of status was very annoying because first I put in the amount that I was when I was filing, I put in the wrong amount and then they
Mm.
returned it back. Now the sad thing is when you mail it, you can get them like a week,
Mm.
right? Then when they send it back,
Mm.
it can get to you in like 2 weeks,
So you have lost
right?
3 weeks.
Yeah, and then by the time you do it again, and so that thing happened to me like two, three times. It's either like they're returning it because the amount wasn't right, or I'm using the outdated form. And then when I use the correct form, they'll be like, oh, this next form has actually changed. So I was kind of like very stressed out with that. But finally, I think I got that in like maybe like 5 weeks. And I know I kept talking to Bobola and was like, man, from what he has seen, before December, I should get my green card. I was like, okay, well, let's see what's gonna happen. But long story short, I was having my baby's naming on November 13th, like literally like 5 minutes into it, and I got a notification on my phone. And then I checked and I saw approved. I'm like, man, they approved my green card. So I was so excited, like it was on the day of a naming ceremony of my daughter, and then I'm getting my green card. So pretty much like that was the timeline.
Wow, that's awesome. I know that you are married. Can you tell us some of the supporting documents you provided to show that you maintain your status in the US, and also that you were legally married to your wife?
Yeah, so history of like my travel history. Even like I think I still had the tickets, the tickets that I used when I was flying out of the US to visit one of the European countries. I don't remember. I think I added that, but I added like my travel history. I think is that like the I-9 or I-94, 94. I added that one. All the employment letters. that I've had, be it internship or on campus job as a student, and the letter of employment and some pay slips. I added that. I think I added. I'm not sure if I added my W-2, but um, showing like evidence of marriage, right? Like good marriage or whatever you. I added, of course, like pictures from the wedding. I added like the marriage certificate. I think I also added. Um, I don't know if I added the invitation we printed out. Maybe we printed it out, or maybe the expense from the hotel. I don't remember. I added all those things.
How about your lease?
I didn't add that.
Okay.
I didn't add any of that because, well, I know like people add it, but the reason why I didn't add any of that was because I've heard different things about it. Like, okay, maybe you're adding like your phone bill, for example, and then they reply saying they don't want phone bill, they want lease. Or you add your lease, they say they don't want that, they want insurance. So I wasn't even trying to go that route. I just gave everything that showed that we're legally married. And also, um, when my wife works in the medical field, she's a doctor, right? So there were some things on our own side that I got as well that I had to add to, just to solidify the application.
Okay. That's awesome. So I think that covers the adjustment of status. Can you tell us the benefits that you have derived so far from having a United States green card? I know that you got it in November, but I'm sure you might have experienced some benefits.
I think the first thing is I should ask you, sir. Like the last time you saw me, I wasn't having this kind of so it's less stress. Like your mind is at rest, right? Because then, like if you're on H1B, um, every day
They
you
can
wake
fire
up.
you at any time and you have
Yeah,
30
if
days.
anything happens, man, like you're screwed, right? I mean, not you're screwed, but you're getting to being screwed because you start getting tens. You have to get a job in like maybe 60 days, and then every time I wake up is like minus one. Minus one is like you're waking up on the 25th, for example. You're like, okay, you have so number of days on your H1B. You have to go through that renewal. You're working for a company, then you have to start talking about them sponsoring you. If you have better opportunities, you might not be able to go, especially if your company is filing your green card for you and they submitted your parent because you don't want to lose the time frame and you just want to get it. And then two, like the most annoying one is even when you get opportunities, companies will ask you, do you need sponsorship? And once you say yes, they're like, okay, man, I'm out. Like, but now I feel like having a green card, I can travel to where I want to travel to, right? Which is something I really like doing. I can literally work for maybe like 80 or 85% of the companies in the US, right? There are still some that will require you to have top clearance and all those stuffs. But
You
I
get
think
there.
I'm a step closer. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I'm a step closer versus I'm on H1B and all that stuff. So, but the most important thing is there's you have peace of mind, right? There's nothing like you're scared immigration, USCIS, and all those kind of crazy stuff is going on. So yeah, those are like the benefits I can think of.
Okay, great. So nowadays, that compared to when you filed, there are a lot of people filing for EB2 NIW nowadays. Now, I've seen people do different things. I've seen different petition. Can you? What advice would you give to people, those that are trying to submit their petition for EB2 NIW this year?
I feel like, man, that's a rough one, but I feel like things are changing, right? Because more people are getting to know about this. So I'm not in any position to say anybody qualifies or anybody does not qualify, but even people that they feel like they know deep down that okay, maybe they don't meet the requirements, they're putting in their applications. So these guys are getting like tons of applications and they're kind of like maybe rejecting people or giving RFAs. But the honest opinion or the honest advice would be I feel like every little thing counts. If you've worked on any project in school that you feel like if you take a back step or you look at the bigger picture, it can reflect an effort or can show an effort to contribution in the country, I think you should add it to whatever you're gonna submit. I also feel like you should understand like the executive orders, understand areas, especially if you read like the CISA page, right? There are tons of like things that they talk about in terms of like cybersecurity, software development. Align yourself to these things, like maybe not word for word, but very closely, and make it seem, or make it not even seem, show that they can benefit from your experience. One important thing that I left out is you need to be part of an organization. Or not even, I don't want to use the word organization, but you need to be a member of some community. If you're doing pen testing, ethical hacking, whatever, each state will have like maybe hackers association, cybersecurity expert association, maybe SACA association. Like it could even be like, I don't know, whatever association. Just make sure like you're part of these associations and you're an active member. And then when you're submitting your application, you list all these organizations or agents. I don't know the right word to use, associations that you're part of, because now an indirect thing I think about is for you to be members of those associations, right? You pay a membership fee. That association to the government, they're paying taxes too, right? So either ways, man, you're still even contributing in one way or the other, right? So, but it just shows and it buttresses the point that you're relevant or you're important or you're active in your space, and going forward, um, they would definitely get from you. One thing I've seen people do is they create some kind of awareness. So awareness could be training. Awareness can be you just writing about a security vulnerability, or you writing about maybe some kind of attack that you saw or something that you feel like can lead to compromise, and then people comment on it. It's going to even be on LinkedIn, right? People will print this page saying they're creating awareness for people, and they had like maybe 3,000 people respond, 2,000 people liked the message, 100 people responded, 100 people replied. There was all those kind of things. They print it and they submit it as okay. Um, they have technical know-how in this space, and they're preventing or creating awareness for people so they don't fall victims.
Okay, great. So the last question that we'll ask you is, what role did my green card story play in helping you to draft your petition or cover letter, and I would say guiding you through your EB2 NNW journey?
Yeah, I feel like it definitely played. You guys played like a very significant role. Um, I know like you're always available like 247. You have to get on a call to you know give opinions, provide guidance, and all that good stuff. Even in terms of like thinking outside the box or fleshing things out. Of course, like you guys are like highly instrumental in that. And I would definitely recommend you to like any other person, right? So you always have that caveat that you're not a lawyer, right? But you also state it clearly, and from what I've seen from a couple of people, that definitely you know what you're doing, and you've been helping people achieve this. So I think is a good stuff, and I appreciate you guys for that.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for watching us. Till I see all of you the next time, take care and God bless you. Bye.
Cheers.